The next race, incorporating the 250cc and Junior Open, was run over 6 laps. Joy had won the 250cc race at Cookstown, but was out of this one. It was left to Dines, McCullough and McNally to battle it out. On commentary again, Alan Drysdale and Harold Crooks.
And the 250s watch the lights, revs go up, and the 250s get away from the front of the grid. And the first man to shoe, number 6, Gary Dines, round the right-hander, up round the paddock bend once again. When they're in full tilt up round that, they're going round there about 125 miles per hour. The 750s getting off the line. Bob Jackson leads James Courtney with Adrian Archibald coming through very quickly there from the second row of the grid. But it's Jackson, Archibald on the inside as they go round that very fast right-hander there. It's Dines who leads. And the right-hander heading for Marleycoo for the first time. It's Dines from McCullough. Down on the brakes. Into the right-hander they go. McCullough in second place. Farquhar, then McNally. Then it's Trevor Keyes and Norman Gordon making up the top 6. The power on now. Heads behind the screens on the 250s. Up to around 140 miles per hour. Dennis McCullough goes to the inside there, wondering if he can get a space to get past that man Dines, but there's none there for him. Down into Castle Corner they come. Dines leads, McCullough second, McNally third, Farquhar fourth. At Cullough, it's still that man Dines, the pace setter from McCullough. The Moira Racing Club backing Dines. McCullough on the Sanyo Honda. Farquhar still holding 4th place there behind Owen McNally, disappearing out of her sight. Then James Courtney on the big 750 Tilson Honda. He squeezes past Cyril Devlin on the 600 Honda. Down the very fast stretch now towards Bell's Crossroads. Dines has a look to see where McCullough is, and he's right on his back wheel. Then it's McNally. Farquhar losing a little bit back there. Then 2 more, that's still Trevor Keyes and Norman Gordon really getting the front wheel into the air. So the 250 battle raging again. Alan, will this be as tight a race as the 125, do you think?
It's certainly building up that way. Dines and McCullough, they're out through, but McNally has now gone through into 3rd ahead of Farquhar. Farquhar, and he's running wide there again. He ran wide at Cullough, a little bit wide again at Bell. So the Tandragee course here, very hard to learn, but Gary Dines mastered on the brakes for Cullough there, with McCullough behind him and McNally now closing in, Harold.
So the front 3 now on their way back towards the Bell's Crossroads again. Farquhar certainly may have a handling problem because he's losing ground to the front 3 as we look at Norman Gordon, and that first of the 750s there is James Courtney, Trevor Keyes, Bob Jackson riding Cullough, getting the power on, and I'm surprised that James Courtney has the lead over Bob Jackson that he has. But back to the front of the 250s, it's still number 6 Dines from McCullough and McNally now right up with them. Farquhar still holding on to that 4th place. He's really out of it now, Alan.
He certainly is, but this man here is in a real charge, and he elbows through past Norman Gordon that time. We saw him do it to Cyril Devlin at Cullough in the opening lap. So James Courtney absolutely on a charge.
The 250 order, still Dines, McCullough and McNally. McNally holding the watching brief behind the 2 guys in front of him. Across the start-finish line. Look at McNally going really wide. He was almost out onto the grass there. He has the power on this time. Round the right-hander there at about 125 miles per hour at Paddock. And here's that man, James Courtney, on the big Tilson Honda. The flames flicking from the exhaust pipe there, Alan.
Yeah, James lights up the Olympic torch there on the way in. Just the unburnt fuel in the exhaust there lighting up. But back here with the leaders.
And it's Dines from McNally, from McCullough. And Marleycoo going out onto a very fast stretch down the Armagh Road, or the Cabra Straight is where they used to start the race. And McNally now has the red mist down. He eases past into the lead. So McNally now the new leader as they come down into Castle Corner. This is where the braking is vital. It's McNally from Dines and McCullough. Still McNally. Dines in second place, McCullough holding on to that 3rd place. So these 3 making a real race of it, Alan.
Absolutely, and gone through Cullough there, one of the hardest points to break here on the course, because it's coming down a series of steps as the road falls away from you. Just watch Courtney coming down, and he really chucks that 750 through the right-hander at Cullough. Has a quick check, and they celebrates with a wheelie there on the way out.
McNally, Dines, McCullough, the 250 leaders. using every centimetre of the road out onto the top of the crest, getting lined up for Bell's Crossroads. Look at McCullough going very wide here. Is he thinking of going wide and then cutting across in the apex as they exit the corner? But it's still McNally from Dines, 0.4 of a second, 0.5 McCullough. She's just a bat of an eyelid in it. Farquhar, Gordon and Ferguson now in 4th, 5th and 6th positions in that 250 race. At the end of the 5th lap, Gary Dines goes round the outside and goes into the lead. McNally now in 2nd place. Dennis McCullough still in 3rd. James Courtney battling on there at the front of the 750 race ahead of Ryan Farquhar on the 250. They're heading towards the yellow flag with the cross, which means it's the last lap as we pick up Bob Jackson in 2nd place in the 750 race. Not pushing it too hard. Dines is really pushing on there, Alan.
Yeah, Guy Dines is superb in that section of the course throughout the racing this afternoon, but McNally high in there. McNally hasn't given up on this one yet, and he closes in on him there as they go away out of that left-hander.
Then the 750 leader there is James Courtney, still ahead of Farquhar in 3rd place in the 250 race. But the man then 2nd in the 750 is Bob Jackson on the McAdoo Kawasaki. Then it's Adrian Archibald in 3rd in that bigger capacity class race. But at the front of the 250, it's still Gary Dines with Owen McNally really having a go at him, with Dennis McCullough still in there in 3rd place. Down into Castle Corner for the last time. McNally still waiting his chance to get past, still not made it at Cooley Hill. It's still that man Dines in the lead. McNally is 2nd, McCullough is 3rd. A 3-horse battle this one in the 250 race. They're heading down towards Bell's Cross for the last time. James Courtney still powering on the 750 Tilston Honda. Comes round that right-hander, which looks very tight, but almost short-circuiting it. Followed there by Farquhar in the 250 race, and then Bob Jackson, the 2nd man in the 750 class, who has no hope of catching Courtney now, Alan.
Doesn't look like it there. Jackson certainly 7 for that 2nd position, but here's the battle for the lead coming up to Bell's for the last time. Going to be a battle here on the bridge, Harold.
In they come, Dines holding him off there. McNally there had a thought about it on the inside, but it's a very fast stretch. Down into the corner they come. Dines on the outside. McNally goes for the inside. He's having problems with the braking. He runs wide. Dines turns on the power. Capitalises on McNally's mistake. Will he hold him off? They're heading towards the line. Half a bike's in it. Dines wins by half a bike's length from McNally in 2nd place. What a finish to the 250 race. James Courtney wheelies to celebrate his win in the 750 race. And they enjoyed it too.
So another very close one there, with Gary Dines winning the battle. Owen McNally and Dennis McCullough less than a second behind. Farquhar half a minute adrift in 4th.
The pressure was there the whole race, and especially the last 2 miles there along the Market Hill Road there was hectic.
But of course you're the 250 Irish champion. We expect you to win, don't we?
Well, it's not that easy, but...
Meanwhile, James Courtney was raging ahead of Bob Jackson in the Junior Open. Adrian Archibald in 3rd, ahead of Britton, Gardner and Nugent.
Got away and from the beginning. I just kept the pace up and was happy to get to the finish, yeah. Were you aware that Bob Jackson was a fair distance behind you? Well, I had a pit board there, yes, and was checking on the pit board. Everything seemed to be just nice enough, yes, good enough. And what about the choice of tyres today? Oh, better choice today. It was slicks on this time. Well, I had them on the last time, but it was wet the last time, so with the right choice on today.
There's the result of the Super Sport race. Trevor Ferguson, the winner, followed home by Neil McWhirter.